next on the INC Giving Show.
I like the fact that we are able to go out into the community and introduce ourselves to the community, not just as a church, but as a part of the community.
I think it was just wonderful. I'm so impressed that you're able to get all these young people to do these wonderful things. I really think they're on their way to becoming good citizens.
Whenever you possibly can, do good to those who need it. A simple statement, yet one that holds the power to move people into action. Hi, I'm Lois Paula. Join us as we visit the various cities and communities moved into action by the INC Giving Project. Welcome to the INC Giving Show.
A little goes a long way when we join together. It's more than enough when we show our love. It's alright to make a change. The future's not so far away. There's hope, there's light. If we open our eyes, this is our chance.
From the start, the INC Giving Project has aimed to share faith through acts of kindness and by meeting people's everyday needs. This was an aim that volunteers work towards in every activity, through every encounter and with every helping hand. It was also one that was teaching participants a valuable lesson, that it's better to give than to receive. Let's hear from volunteers just like you to see what the INC Giving Project has come to mean in their lives.
The INC Giving Project to me is a way to help spread the word of God by helping the community.
INC Giving Project to me is helping people introduce ourselves in the community, and most of all, if they need help, then we are here to help them.
Well, the INC Giving Project to me is actually a very special thing that I'm proud to be a part of. Something that's excited me once I heard about it. And just the idea of participating in different community efforts and reaching out to the public and letting everybody know that INC is here and we're wanting to help out and introduce ourselves to others and let them know that we're trying to do great things for everyone around us.
Our first stop as we look back is Los Angeles, California, where the INC Giving Project made its debut with the first ever Neighborhood Appreciation Day. The simple desire to appreciate those around us brought new meaning to the word neighborhood.
Today we have everything ranging from career development, education, we have health and fitness, we have arts and crafts for the young children, we also have a food station featuring nachos, hot dogs, sodas, face painting, moon bounds. We had a live band come out. I mean, it was just really an atmosphere where everyone can really get together, enjoy themselves. But the most, I think for me, the highlight was the tours that we provided to all the neighbors.
Like I said, last week we had our first worship service.
What seemed at first just a simple meet and greet, after the construction of a chapel on this street, turned into a welcoming of the neighborhood's new symbol of hope and growth.
I've lived here for 27 years. The neighborhood has changed for the better. For the last 6 months, I've been waiting to finally see the inside. When I went in there on the tour, I was like, wow, nice, very nice.
Soon to knock on the doors of neighborhoods throughout the US, Canada, and Australia. The event welcomed both the community and the very officials working on their streets every day.
I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to interact with people. It makes it easier for us because it unites people. It brings people together, and that's what we want.
But the event wasn't just an introduction to the INC Giving Project. For these neighbors, it was an introduction to the Church of Christ. Youth, together with their parents, said thank you to their local educators to honor their work through Teacher Appreciation Days across the region.
Well, Mr. Howe, you are one of my favorite teachers in 8th grade. Absolutely favorite.
The event showed teachers not just how much we need them, but even more so showed us all how much teachers rely on the community.
I have taught for 36 years, and this is the first time a community pulled together like this. I want you to know that you are doing an excellent job in raising your young ladies and young men, because we have had amazing children at our school at Penn Elementary come from this church. Thank you so much.
Each teacher left with a bag full of school supplies and a smile on their face. But the most important gift they brought home with them was a gift of appreciation.
The act of doing good can be so contagious for those receiving and giving. We saw this in the southeastern seaboard, where volunteers took every opportunity to show care for their community, but in return, helped share so much more. In South Atlanta, like in so many cities we visited today, volunteers gathered in senior homes to not only entertain, but to express the importance that our elders hold in our lives.
These patients, some really don't have family that come and see them.
Song after song, smile after smile, the music brought joy and uplifting strength to those in our lives who deserve all our love and care.
We appreciate you very much, and thank you for the ministry that you give to our residents, because you're being the hands and feet of the Lord.
In North Atlanta, Georgia, volunteers put their efforts together to clean a park in their community. Not only was trash picked up and weeds removed, but playground equipment was sectioned off and meticulously cleaned and disinfected. The removal of graffiti was an indicator that any negative influences from the past have been firmly replaced by positive ones by the Church of Christ. Sometimes reaching out to strangers can also do a world of good. In Jacksonville, Florida, on Filipino Pride Day, volunteers were invited to assemble an information booth to provide the community with valuable information about the church and the INC Giving Project.
With God's help, we were able to be a part of it with the INC Giving to really showcase the Iglesia ni Cristo.
And not just in the Jacksonville community, but also in the other areas of the South.
We just found out that's not too far from us, which is in Biloxi, is it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's real close to us. Yeah, we plan on attending the Bible study.
One of the service activities that the INC Giving Project held in Jacksonville was Teacher Appreciation Day, where children got the chance to say, above all else, thank you.
Wonderful teacher. With a special gift for learning and with a heart that deeply cares, you add a lot of love to everything you share.
Along with poems and cards expressing gratitude, volunteers gathered much-needed school supplies to lessen the daily burden on these gifted individuals.
And thank y'all for y'all prayers, because we do need it. And it's like, I only have one child, but when I get in the midst of somebody else's child, 17, 18 kids, it's a blessing to me. I appreciate, what y'all did today. Thank you.
Recent headlines have shown that Florida is now home to a growing number of homeless individuals and families. Volunteers in Orlando, Florida, held a canned food and winter wear drive. The items were donated to community pantries and shelters, expressing the volunteers' compassion for their fellow man.
Welcome back to INC Giving. We're going coast to coast today to see how the INC Giving Project is impacting communities as well as volunteers. Now let's head north to Canada, where from Surrey to Saskatchewan, volunteers have been INC Giving.
In Surrey, Canada, The youngest volunteers not only entertained and brought smiles to the faces of senior citizens, but talked with them and enjoyed each other's company, a rare treat for both groups. The children left the seniors with a thank you card and the learned lesson about respect for our elders. In North Vancouver, the same project, Singing for a Cause, was held. A quiet yet inspiring set of performances was prepared for the seniors, followed by young volunteers handing out flowers. And like in so many places around the world, the room was full of smiles. The children of Regina not only delivered flowers to the elderly, but gave them matching INC Giving t-shirts for them to always remember the day that the Church of Christ came into their lives. The local congregation of Calgary Centre brought upbeat songs of joy to Bethany Care Centre, one of the largest senior living homes in Alberta. From sharing hugs to sharing sweet music, all who participated on that day will always remember Calgary Centre. In an ideal world, everyone has a home, warm clothes on their backs, and food in their stomachs. But that's not always a reality. Calgary Centre furthered its commitment to serve the community by donating warm clothing in a partnership with Mustard Seed, an organization based downtown. Volunteers mobilized their membership to sort a multitude of donations and prepare them for transport. In Vancouver West, another clothing donation was prepared for the downtown Eastside Women's Centre. The female INC Giving volunteers then delivered the goods while the male volunteers were asked to remain outside, acknowledging the stark reality and necessity of such a facility.
Rain or shine, volunteers of the INC Giving Project have been coming out in groups to help their neighbors, like in Hawaii, where volunteers said aloha to senior citizens throughout the island of Oahu. Throughout the island of Oahu, the volunteers of the INC Giving Project brought gifts of music to residents of retirement and nursing homes, which in turn brought them back to fond memories.
Reminded me of, was I that young before? And then I realized they're quite educated youngsters. Thank you very kindly.
It's nice. They remind me of my grandchildren. I enjoyed it.
It didn't take long for those working at the facilities to already see the impact it had on the residents.
I noticed that all of my patients, most of my patients, they are all happy. And I know for sure that, they are kind of reminiscing. They had a good time, enjoying the singing and the performance of our fellow brethren. And I thank you so much for that.
I thought it was wonderful. The geriatric community really absolutely appreciates the interaction that was provided today. It means a lot to them, and I thought it was wonderful that on a Saturday I noticed there was lots of children of all ages coming and participating and taking their time to give back to the community, especially the older community. I think that's wonderful and priceless, and I think it's going to actually go a lot farther than they realize. The impact on our community here is quite great.
And it was the same story in places visited by volunteers from Waipahu, New Era, Kaneohe, Pearl Harbor, and Wahiawa. And though it was just one afternoon, the small gesture of bringing the gift of music to these residents already gave them an impression of just the type of individuals these young volunteers are.
I
think it was just wonderful. I'm so impressed that you're able to get all these young people to do these wonderful things. I really think they're on their way to becoming good citizens.
But this wasn't the only project that the young volunteers of the INC Giving Project were taking the lead in. In Honolulu, they led the effort to make cards for kids currently in the hospitals. They took time to pick out their favorite colors, to draw their favorite characters, and to write kind messages to bring a bit of sunshine and a smile to those on the receiving end. These are just but a portion of the projects that volunteers of the INC Giving Project are participating in the Hawaii Pacific Island.
What the kids want to say to you. They want to wish you well, okay? All right.
The brethren are really excited about this. All are united with the spirit of the church administration. And this would be a great avenue to propagate the gospel and the spirit of giving to all Iglesia Ni Cristo members.
Stay tuned to future episodes, as we'll feature more locations where the INC Giving Project is making its mark. Don't go away, we'll be right back. Welcome back. The INC Giving Project has now reached many states in the U.S., as far north as Alaska and as far south as Florida, even in many places across Canada and Australia. And in each city, the impact can be seen not only with the volunteers, but even with the very individuals and communities it serves. Let's take a look at how the INC Giving Project is making its way through Northern California, where volunteers are reaching out to communities through events like Singing for a Cause, coastal cleanups, and neighborhood appreciation days.
From the bottom of our hearts, we would like to welcome everyone for being here today.
Like many of the districts, Northern California's first INC Giving event was held right after the dedication of the House of Worship in Sacramento, California. It gave the members an opportunity to introduce themselves to their new neighbors by inviting them to the Appreciation Day. The event marked the beginning of a new relationship in this neighborhood. But it was just the beginning of many more opportunities for INC Giving volunteers to reach out into communities across Northern California. Sports have always been a pastime for the members of the Church of Christ in Northern California. So when summer came around, the volunteers of the INC Giving Project decided what better way to enjoy what they love than to give others an opportunity to learn it for themselves. Volunteers of the INC Giving Project hope that even for one afternoon, they could provide the opportunity to many who may otherwise not have the chance. And taught the young individuals not only how to play the sports, but more importantly, the values that it can provide to a person. And at the end of the day, all volunteers and participants alike found themselves on a different team, one with a goal to give rather than receive. Some of the district's smallest congregations are taking the lead in a very big way, volunteering their time to help in projects like the Winter Wear Drive and the Military Care Package event. Boxes upon boxes, the volunteers brought winter wear to the Milpitas Food Pantry and Clothing Closet, a gesture appreciated by those who see the need every day.
And right now we're up to about 5,000 clients that we help every year. Most people come on an average of 8 times, so we've really expanded the clothes closet, and we're bringing in other agencies to try to help people get them out of this poverty situation. It is so nice that you guys are so considerate to think of us and to know that it really is going to have a huge impact. So we really appreciate it. So just know you're helping thousands of your neighbors here in Milpitas. So thank you. Yay!
Going south to Lemoore, California, a town known for its large naval station, was naturally one of the locations where the Military Care Package project made its mark. This particular project held a special place in the hearts of many of the volunteers. They knew firsthand what it felt like to be deployed or to have loved ones far away from
We
them.
receive cards from different people writing that is saying that wish you were here and that they were proud of us that we're serving our country. Like we felt so good that like wow, actually somebody cares about that.
Each volunteer found a sense of purpose in the project they participated in.
I'm making cards for the militaries that are gone or the troops.
I think they'll feel supported and cared for when they receive these, because it must be lonely there because their family isn't there.
Is this a fun activity?
We've traveled up and down Northern California and have one final stop to go. Let's take a look at how volunteers from Daly City, through the INC Giving Project, are sharing their love for reading.
What did the second little pig make his house out of?
The volunteers took simple books and turned them into short skits to bring life to the lessons in each story.
Does anybody know what this is?
I believe this event will help the kids because reading is one of the most important skills a student can learn other than writing. And with this event, we teach the children the importance of reading, as well as how reading can help you think better and elaborate more.
Allie Monroe, a visitor and aspiring teacher, joined in during the book reading and saw the value that the INC Giving volunteers were providing these young kids.
The reading, they enjoyed it. They were interactive with the reading, and it was really good. The kids were like really motivated with it. They were like enjoying it, and they seemed very into it, so it was really good.
And more than just helping these young kids gain a love for reading, the volunteers saw the greater purpose behind their act of giving.
I like the fact that we are able to go out into the community and introduce ourselves to the community, not just as a church, but as a part of the community.
A purpose that is not only moving those volunteers in Daly City, but the volunteers throughout Northern California.
The INC Giving Project is moving many to go out there and find opportunities to help and shine as lights as members of the Church of Christ. In previous episodes, we've met individuals like Rio Balsita, Rio Sarial, Jem Puzon, and many others who've gone out there to make a difference in the lives of others. Let's look back to see just what made them move into action.
Here we go. There you go.
Jem is a volunteer with Canteen, an organization that aims to ensure teens with cancer are given the needed support for any challenges they may face.
So I'd say I have a personal connection with it. After being diagnosed, I know how they feel, I understand. So I'd like to all the more, help raise awareness and help do my bit. I'd say personally, when you're diagnosed, you can have you can only take on so much, we're just human, we try to stay as strong as we can, but it's also so important and so crucial to have a support network.
Support networks come in many forms. Oftentimes, they're the very people helping to ensure the safety of our communities.
I volunteer for the West Sacramento CERT team, that's Community Emergency Response Team, and we are the people that if something happens like a disaster or an emergency, that if the first responders like paramedics and firefighters and cops can't help the community, then we are called out to provide services to them.
But in the very beginning, Ria joined so she can learn how to help herself.
So I really enrolled in this program to just gain all the knowledge to help myself and probably help others around me, most definitely my neighbors if they need it.
But our ability to help isn't just limited to those in our immediate vicinity. Let's meet Rio, who helped bring education to kids halfway around the world.
Effort in helping our daycare. Having you was so much blessing. I want to help small children. They have a dream, but without the fundamentals, those dreams are difficult to achieve. So while they're young, before they even enter the next grade, they should be able to know their ABC. So it's not hard for them when they go to a little bit higher grade.
If you or someone you know has a similar story of giving, let us know. Email us at the address on the screen. We'd love to see you in action, and we may even feature your stories right here on our show. You never know just who you might influence. We hope the stories you've seen and people you've met have inspired you to give in big or small ways. It's rewarding to know what a difference you can make in someone else's life. So remember, whenever you possibly can, do good to those who need it. Thanks for watching. I'm Lois Paula. Join us again next time right here on the INC Giving Show.